Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. As always, Jay Kleinknecht here, along with head coach Scott Langer. And coach, a successful road trip over to Minnesota, taking on Fairbanks Ice Dogs over there in Marshall. Really nice facility there in Marshall, and you come away with a 2-0 win on Friday and then an 8-0 win on Saturday. Friday's game, and I know you were quoted as saying that road games don't always have to be pretty, and they aren't always pretty, but you find a way to win, and that's the important part. What is this, as a staff, did you think of Friday's game?
Yeah, we obviously, they were good.
Mm-hmm.
They were on us quick and forced a lot of turnovers on our side, and we were mismanaging pucks, and obviously had to rely on really solid goaltending with Jake there in net. But finding a way to win the game was the most important part of it, and we did that. I mean, it was a big goal by Jacob Stender there. Great play. You don't see two defensemen making that kind of play down the other goal line usually, so it was an odd play, but it was something we've been working on, and obviously it happened. So again, as long as you get points coming out on the road, it doesn't matter, and I thought we spent the time on Saturday and we got better.
I was going to actually ask you about that play and if it was a designed play, because like you said, it's not that common, but you do see Stender, I mean, he's not afraid to carry the puck in, that's for sure. So I wondered if that wasn't something that you guys put together.
No, not a designed play, but it was a line rush situation where both D ended up jumping into the rush, which normally you don't have that. But it was just a great look in finding Jacob on the back door, and they were playing pretty stubborn hockey against us. Okay. So that goal was huge, and I think it's just as big as we kept them to 0 in a game that they were really going.
Yeah.
They were really going really hard. So I thought our team defense was really good, and I think those games build a little character.
For sure. Well, and you mentioned before Saturday night's game that one of the things that you felt like you needed to clean up was puck possession and management a little bit, and I think you guys did that on Saturday night. But boy, Fairbanks came out, I think they had 8 shots on goal in the first 2.5 minutes or something like that. You could tell that they were ready to, their game plan was to pour shots at Jake and try to get something through or anything through from wherever on the ice. So they came out again playing strong and really strong first 5 or so, and then you guys kind of take over, and again, great goaltending by Sibell.
Yeah, I mean, that game could have been a whole different outcome there if it wasn't for Jake in that first 5 to 7 minutes. Obviously they hit a crossbar and a post during that time, but huge shorthanded goal by Matsui to completely change the complexion of that hockey game. But again, there's going to be times where you have to weather the storm.
Yeah.
And that was a good example of it. They came out, they threw everything they had at us right away, and we did weather the storm. And we weren't happy with the way we were performing right out of the gate. We should have had a better start, and being a full night's rest and being prepared. But they jumped us, and they were good. So obviously we were a little opportunistic, and we found ways to score. And we did manage the puck a lot better. We made more plays, and when you make more plays, you're going to score more goals.
Well, and that's exactly what happened. Second week in a row, we've seen Matsui on the kill be able to, just pester his way into breaking a puck loose and being able to go in on a breakaway. And like you said, a big shorthanded goal there. A couple of power play goals. Special teams was really big on Saturday night. We've talked about Sibell, and now 4 straight shutouts. It's just like a win streak or anything like that. It's going to come to an end at some point. But have you ever had a goaltender on a team that's playing this hot right now?
Well, I mean, I think you can make a case for how well Vernon
for sure
played. I mean, I haven't had a goaltender get 4 straight shutouts. I know that. But we've had some good goaltenders. But it's really, Jake's just in a different time zone right now. It's he's preparing the right way, he's focused, he's driven, and obviously he's a non-committed player that wants to get a commitment, and he's doing everything possible to open the eyes of these scouts. But he just, our guys play in front of him, and they know when they make a mistake, Jake's going to give it the best he can to eliminate it, and he's been doing that. And I believe our whole team defense has been a real big part of this. 4 straight shutouts, and we're blocking shots, and we're breaking up plays. But obviously, I mean, some of the shots that Jake's had to face have been really tough shots, and he's had to make some huge saves to to keep us in the situation to win a hockey game. So I haven't had a guy win four straight shutouts, that's for sure. So it's a special time for Jake.
Well, and one of those plays, I would be very surprised if it is the play of the week. As there was a one particular amazing save. And it's funny that you say that, because when you're watching the game, you see that a lot of times, as far as the defenseman going by and hitting him on the pads with their stick or something. And you can just tell that there is a level of appreciation going back and forth, that team defense. You can see it working. I mean, you can see that they're communicating and that they understand when somebody maybe came up a little short on something and someone picked them up. You can see it out there in their body language, even on the ice. So, very cool. All right, well, a short week. You're right back at it Wednesday against Minot. That's got to change the schedule around for sure, but the way you prepare.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had to skate today. Normally, it's an off day. It's a day to kind of heal up and get your energy level back. But thought it was important we hit the ice and to work on some things. So we did that. And we're facing a team that really hasn't played a whole lot.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of new faces on their roster. I mean, they've made a slew of changes. So it's all we have is them against Kenai to really bank on, and I'm sure they've made quite a few changes since then to play against us. So I mean, again, we're probably gonna see their best game.
Well, they've got 24 games in, but like you said, this last weekend they were off. They've just had a lot of time lately to be rested and ready, no doubt, for Wednesday's game. As far as different faces, as you mentioned, anything systematically that you are seeing or in that Kenai game that you might have to prepare for that maybe you haven't seen before?
Well, I think they're really aggressive on their forecheck, and I think it's something they're good at, and if you make mistakes, they'll make you pay, and we have to be good against that. It's probably no different than just how we played Fairbanks. Fairbanks sits on you really hard, and it's tough to break pucks out, and you have to make exceptional plays in order to break it, and I think against Minot it's no different.
For sure. All right. I'm going to ask you a question now that I get asked all the time, and I'm just going to pull the Band-Aid off and ask it. I know that you're fond of the Aberdeen Wings and of Aberdeen, of course, but do you have any plans or any aspirations of going to, say, the USHL or collegiate or to the next level? Or are you happy, for now at least, in Aberdeen or in the North American League, the winningest coach of all time?
I'm truly am a day-to-day guy.
Yeah.
I really am. I don't look past what I have coming up next, and there's obviously aspirations to coach pro hockey, and if I get the opportunity, we'll see what it is. But at the same time, I want to be good at what I'm doing right now, and I think there's a lot more we can accomplish here in Aberdeen. But these kids deserve my full attention until the seasons are over, and then after that, obviously, you have to reevaluate. But I haven't thought twice about sticking it out here in Aberdeen. I love it. My family loves it, and we've had a ton of success here. I think my relationship with the Odie family is a real good one, and it's tough to find an owner-coach relationship that respects one another the way we do, and it's fun to come to work every day.
Good to hear. And I'm not all that surprised by it, honestly, because people always ask me, well, he's so good. Do you think he's going to ever go anywhere? I'm like, well, I'm sure if the opportunity arises at some point, he'd think about it. But right now, this is his focus.
But to me, I am somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm somewhere. I mean, we're arguably one of the top teams in North America. And I am somewhere. We've put a lot of energy, blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. And I know before I was here, they put a ton of energy into it, and it's a special place.
Yeah.
It really is. And not many guys, even though they're coaching places, can say when they get in their vehicle in the morning and head to work that they're truly happy. And I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy what I'm doing. I'm happy with the guys that I have in this locker room. I'm happy with the ownership and the way that they've treated me. And also my wife is extremely happy in this community, and she's given back to the community with her city council stuff and all the stuff she does for the downtown. And
for sure.
Things are good.
Well, and happy means an awful lot in today's world. Well, right now the Wings at the top of the Central Division with 42 points and 22 games played. Bismarck in second with 25 points and 24 games played. Minot in third with 19 points, 24 games played. Austin with 13 points and 15 games played. Then the Wilderness, 7 points, 9 games played. And St. Cloud at the bottom of the division with 6 points and 14 games played. Wings in action this weekend against Minot. Coach, thanks for taking some time to talk with us a bit, and best of luck against the Minotauros.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we'll take a quick break and return with a player coming up on Wings Weekly.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body.
Welcome back to Wings Weekly as we continue on, and as promised, a player joining me. In this case, it's Will Arquiett, and you are from Brasher Falls, New York, huh?
Yep, Brasher Falls.
Brasher Falls, okay. I would imagine you've probably never been to the Dakotas before.
No, this is my first time.
First impressions when you get here, everything's flat, and you're like, what's going on? Where am I? There's nobody, there's no buildings or nothing like that. How does it work?
It's like, there's like 1,000 people in my town.
Okay.
So Aberdeen's kind of a city for me, actually.
All right.
So yeah, it's nice.
Good to know. All right. Well, you've got 2 goals and 3 assists in just 6 games played. A big weekend for you. 2 goals there against Fairbanks. And you know, one of the latest guys to join the team. I'm always impressed when you guys, jump into a locker room and jump onto the ice, and it's just like a duck to water. From the look of it, you've been playing with this team all along. What were your thoughts when you came into the locker room, and talked to us a little bit about how the first weeks have been here in Aberdeen with the Wings?
It was actually super easy to come in. My first day, I got a big bear hug from Cade Nielsen and stuff, and yeah, the guys were super welcoming. And honestly, I've been here a month, a little over, and it feels like I've been playing with these guys for a couple of years now, and they made it super easy to come in. The coaching staff did too, so yeah, it's been awesome. I love it here.
Good to know. Well, Cade last week told us that he loves to hug guys, and he's like, they get a little freaked out at first, so now we have an example of that.
Yeah, he texted me. He's like, I'm going to give you a hug tomorrow, and I was like, all right, sounds good.
All right. Well, you most recently in the BCHL, you're committed to St. Lawrence University. That's where your hockey is headed. I want to go back to the beginning, though, like I do with most players. Talk about when you first started playing and your journey kind of here that led you to the Wings.
I was probably about 2 when I started playing, I think, and then we always had backyard rinks and stuff at my house, and kind of just played in my hometown growing up until I was a little older, and then I went away to prep school. Played at Northwood for 3 years, and then I went out to the BCHL for a year, and then ended up coming down here.
Okay. Well, we're certainly happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
How about family? Do you have any? We want to hear about the hockey moms and stuff, because I always have to try to give them credit because they do a lot of work. But do you have any relatives that played or anything that got you started, or was it just?
Yeah, my whole family kind of played hockey just growing up and stuff, and one of my cousins was really good. He doesn't play anymore, but I kind of played with him like pond hockey, and he's a couple of years older, so I played high school with him for a year or 2. But
okay.
Yeah, we played a lot together growing up.
All right. Well, tell us about the family and family life, I guess. As far as holidays and things like that, do you have any special traditions or anything?
Not too much. It's just my mom and dad and I at home. And I have an older brother that doesn't live at the house, and then we all live in the same town still, pretty much. So nothing special, just small town family stuff.
Excellent. Well, good. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. I always ask players too about superstitions, because we've come across some very interesting ones over the years. So, are you one of the guys that has certain things that they cannot do or have to do on the day of a game, or the way they get dressed or anything? Do you have any superstitions that have followed you through hockey?
Not really.
No?
I don't know. I put on my gear like the same order and stuff every day, but nothing too much. I usually like to nap, but nothing special really.
Kind of a routine, but not so much superstition.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't eat a pregame meal. That's kind of weird. A lot of guys find that odd, but that's about it really.
Years ago, we had a player that had so many superstitions. He literally he didn't want to be touched by anybody the day of a game. So people would be walking by and punch him on the shoulder, and some people would be like, knock it off, I can't get touched. There's been some interesting ones over the years, so I always have to ask that. How about on a road trip? Of course, we just got back early Sunday morning from Marshall. Is there anything that you have to have with you when you go on a road trip?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't know.
Phone, earbuds, pillow?
I bring earbuds, no pillow. I don't know. I don't really sleep on the bus. I like to hang out with the guys and stuff. So I'm usually in someone else's seat, sitting with them, playing cards or watching a movie, talking, stuff like that. Yeah.
Good to know. Very interesting. Let's see. I got a couple of goofy questions for you before we get to Minot and some of the hockey kind of related stuff. But got some interesting would you rather questions. You know, it might make you think a little bit, but would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
Oh, read for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. I talk more than I read, so I don't know.
You know what? I got to thinking about that myself a little bit, and I'm thinking the same thing. And I think, I could probably manage without being able to read. But that would be strange. In all your life being able to read and see a sign and know exactly what it says, and then go over and see something and go, no clue what that means.
It'd probably be pretty tough for college coming up, too, not being able to read. But I don't know. Not being able to speak would be, I think, worse.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather win $100,000 or have a friend win $500,000?
Ooh, that's a tough one. If it's a really good friend, they might give you $100,000 of the 500. I don't know.
Let's make a rule. That person can't give anything to you. That makes
they can't give anything to me.
That makes it even more interesting.
I mean, it's a little selfish to win the 100 when they can have 5. So I think I'd go with them winning 5.
Very gracious. All right.
I don't know. That's a tough choice.
That is.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of depends on where you're at in your situation in life, too. It's like,
true.
$100,000.
And what friend it is.
Yeah, that's true, too. And what friend, that matters. Would you rather be able to have the ability to fly 10 miles per hour, or the ability to run 100 miles per hour?
I'd say fly.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really play a sport anymore where you really run. It's just hockey now and you skate, so I don't know. It'd be pretty cool to fly.
I find it interesting when I ask people that question that usually younger people will choose run 100, but older people will choose to fly 10 because it's like they're not in as much of a hurry. They want to be relaxing. They can fly over water and mountains and stuff, where running you can't. I always think it's interesting. So not often do I hear a younger person say that they would rather fly than run. So that's interesting. All right, one more. If you could go into space, to travel into space, would you go if you had that opportunity, not knowing that you'd be able to get back?
I was going to say, is there a guarantee that I'm not going to die? Or?
Well, there's no guarantee that you're going to die, but there's no guarantee you'll get back. You probably will, but maybe not.
I don't think so. I don't think I'd go.
Yeah?
I don't know. I get super motion sick. And you see those movies and stuff with the people in the simulators. I don't know. I don't think I'd have a good time. I'd rather look at mountains and stuff rather than the moon, I think. I don't know.
That is, that's another tough one. I don't know, because at my age, I feel like I'd be that's a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, would you go?
I think I probably would.
Yeah?
I think I would, just because, I'd miss my family and my son and everything, but if you can't get back, that is. But I feel like it'd be a once in a lifetime thing. But then again, I'm a lot older than you, so you've got a whole lot of life to live. Let's see. Back into some of the hockey stuff. We talked with Coach a little bit about a short week from a coaching staff and their perspective of how you get things done. How about from a player's perspective? When you turn around and have a game 3 days after you just played, do you do anything different?
Not really. It's kind of just a condensed week. We came to the rink today, had a good practice, and we'll probably get one more tomorrow, and then a morning skate Wednesday rather than on a Friday.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit shorter. Maybe not a workout instead of you'll just skate instead of having a lift.
Okay. Have you had a chance to see anything on Minot? What do you see as some keys that you guys as a team have to do?
I actually haven't seen Minot coming in late. We haven't played them yet, so I'm not really sure what they play like. I'm sure we'll go over video and stuff, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday morning. But I think we just have to play our game, be physical, and make plays and play hard.
Yeah. Transition.
Sibes has been really good for us, so I think if we play in their zone a little bit more, we don't have to rely on him as much. So that would be nice.
That certainly would be. All right. Well, that's about all I've got for you, really. I won't keep you much longer, but I sure appreciate you coming on and talking with us a little bit and letting the fans get a chance to kind of see into you a little bit and into your mind.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Wings host Minot on Wednesday, January 27th. The game was originally scheduled for Tuesday, February 23rd. Printed tickets for February will be honored at the door, again, for that February 23rd date. Midweek Madness, all general admission tickets are $10 at the door, $8 general admission tickets at all C Express locations in Aberdeen with an additional purchase. Presentation College Night is Wednesday night. All PC students will receive free admission with PC student ID at the door. $15 corporate bar stool seats are available. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852. Doors open at 5:30 and the puck drops at 7:15. Get your tickets now at tickets.aberdeenwings.com. Corporate night sponsorships are available for home games throughout the 2020-2021 season. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852 for more information. And don't forget, Wings Weekly is now a podcast. Find the audio for this season's episodes on Spotify, Stitcher, or iHeartRadio. And for all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Once again, Will, appreciate you coming on, and best of luck coming up against Minot.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks again for having me.
All right, folks, that will wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.